So this crushing that comes from God, this sifting that comes from God, I want you to think about this in natural terms because you have to. You got to deal with that. You have to deal with the fact that it will feel abusive. I'm going to just keep it real. Like there is something that is crushing you. You are being crucified. You are being hardened by disappointment, pain, the allowance of the rejection to happen. So the rejection could be used to fuel you, to keep you set apart. Still rejection. The pain that could be caused as the severing of relationships, the discomfort of having to put yourself out there time and time again, and possibly not being received well. We know the world gonna hate you because they hated Jesus. We know if you set yourself on a good life in Jesus, that you will be persecuted. You will be. We know you're going to be tested and tried and receive many tribulations, but it's that testing part. It's that growth part. It's that hardening part, that when you love someone so much with everything that you have, but yet they are the source of pain and hurt and discomfort, and yet you can't leave it. You got to stay in the relationship. You got to be willing to accept the unconditional love that carries with it pain, discomfort, losing your life, having to give it all up, crucifixion. Even Jesus cried out on the cross as he was being crucified. Jesus cried out, "Father, why have you forsaken me?" Even he had trouble processing on the cross. You have this intense love, this intense sacrifice, this intense, real, genuine love for God. Yet, by his very hand, you're crucified. And you realize it's his desire. It pleased the Father. It pleased him for the bruising of his Son. To think that your Father in heaven, who you've given all to, that it pleases him that you be crushed. See, you can still understand why it's happening. You can understand the end goal. You can know that he loves you. You can know all of it. But still grapple with the fact that everything you've learned in the world, when you are faced with someone who wants to kill you, crucify you, and that's your flesh, that will disappoint you intentionally, that will want to have you in lack and suffer intentionally, The world teaches you that if you don't walk away from that, that if you don't run from that, in fact, that there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with your psychology. That you've got a situation to which you don't fell in love with your abuser. What do you do? Because Christ, living for him, bearing his name, calls you to do what Christ did, is to be obedient through death. Through death. That even though you have these questionings, even though you have these wonderings, even though you have this point that was beyond your breaking point. We passed the point where he was in the garden and he was sweating blood. We on the cross. But yet the answer is to do what? And thank you, Holy Spirit, because I didn't have an answer for that. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The answer is in what Jesus did. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to go to the cross. He wanted the will of the Father to be done. And because he wanted the will of the Father to be done, although even on the cross, he cried out, he said, Father, why have you forsaken me? He didn't jump off. He didn't get off his cross. He stayed. You see, even in the garden, Peter like, we finna handle this. All those soldiers came. Oh, we got something for them. But what did the Lord say in all of that? Do you know I could call down a legion of angels right now? I can call down many. Do you know who my Father is? Yeah. But he didn't, because he wanted the will of the Father to be done. So the thing that you have to decide through it all is, do you want the will of the Father to be accomplished in your life? Do you want the will of the Father to be accomplished, to be fulfilled, to be completed here on earth through you? If that is what you desire, I want you to not jump off your cross. Period. Don't look for the way out. Don't try to pray your way out. Don't try to uncover different ways to get out. Stay on the cross. Yeah. How long did he stay on that cross? Long enough for him to know that it was finished. See, all the stuff that I talked about, all of that has no bearing on whether or not you stay on the cross. The commitment, the decision that you need to make is, do you want the will of the Father to be done? And to commit to staying on your cross. All the rest can blow in the wind. Talk soon. Bye.